a presentation of the ERL ChampCar World Series on Spark Plug Motorsports.
Welcome to the ChampCar Grand Prix of Japan, where Remy LeBeau is on pole from Charles Hernandez and Jonathan Sims. Daf Sanchez, points leader, starts 4th from Sebastian Ocampo and O'Quee. Ray Shen is 7th from Matthew Hart and Viter Alves. Then it's Daniel Bogdasarov to round out the top 10 from Guillermo Perez, who's 2nd in the standings. Ryan Burson, Nicholas Palomino, and your boy Lam Fong is 15th from Grace Hunter and Francis Austin. Then it's Versilio down in 18th from James Barnett and Hin Lam Thi. Then it's the back row of Nunez Garcia and Dominic Vanislam. Well, it's been a great few opening rounds of the season. Here we are for race 6. All 5 lights go on, and ChampCar is underway in Japan. Good start there from the Power Motorsport men of both Hernandez and Sebastian Ocampo, heading down into turn 1, and Hernandez is actually already in front of the Meyershank number 60, but Remy LeBeau getting the better exit. This is more like it for the number 60 car of Remy LeBeau, the season 25 Formula E champion. He leads from the 2 Power Motorsport drivers of Charles Hernandez and Sebastian Ocampo, who gets passed by no one. That is Sanchez and Ray Shen fighting over 4th, and Sanchez just about losing out on that 4th position. Shen getting passed down the inside. A woeful start for the points leader for Hyperdrive Racing. Versilio further back with a time penalty. Coming through turn 6 and into the wall goes Francis Austin. Front wing damage for the Andretti driver. Nunez Garcia, winner last time out in a hectic race in Detroit, as Vanislau now with a 5-second time penalty. He's trying to get his way up the order after a terrible qualifying. You know, that guy, Nunez, he's becoming somewhat unpopular in the paddock, it seems, but of course, as a rookie, a lot of things you do are unpopular, and then the entire paddock starts copying you. On to lap 2 of 13 here at Twin Ring Motegi. Heading down into turn number 1. Running on board with Remy LeBeau, and obviously it's great to see that man lead laps again. It's been so long since we've had this man leading. I mean, it makes season 25 of Formula E seem like forever ago when you realize that he hasn't won a race in literally forever. I think... No, he won the championship in Indianapolis, but he didn't win that race. I can't even tell you when his last race win was. But he's still got a pretty long career on him. There have been rumors surrounding the number 11 car, though. Rumors suggesting that he could be retiring from full-time ERL racing, replacing him. Well, there's a lot of replacements that could come in, but we don't exactly know who they could be. He personally wants a Japanese driver into that Manthey seat. He does have controlling share over that Manthey team, as coming through 130R side by side into the Casio Triangle, making the lunge in that lime green Manthey racing car. And Jonathan Sims not just up into 5th position, he's going to take 4th here with a brilliant exit going through that chicane. Up into 4th position for the British driver. And Ray Shen from China in that number 33, still trying to fight back. Nunez Garcia, his fight back working quite well, up into 16th position, as he's just set the fastest lap of this Grand Prix. Versilio in front of him, somewhat experienced now in the ERL, after joining with Mercedes EQ in season 22. Jonathan Sims, fastest opening sector at 25.549. The season 22 rookie class is definitely one of the more interesting Formula E rookie classes. I think we've got a full course caution. That is Nunez Garcia. And into the back of him goes Hin Lam Thi. Out goes Nubert, and I think that's an engine failure. Absolutely terrible for him. And we have a caution on lap 3. Well, the full course cautions are ending here in Motegi. Remy LeBeau leads us back to green. He's led every lap of this race from pole position. If he manages to lead every lap from lap 1 to lap 13, well, I don't think he's going to be able to do that anymore. He comes into the pits, and Charles Hernandez will be leading us to lap 4. Softs going on for the Meyer-Shank man. We've seen already 2-stop strategies working with these Firestones. That's mainly just because the ERL has encouraged all 3 of its tire suppliers to work harder on making interesting tire strategies, as Vita Alves, Oqui, and Dominic Vanislau have all come into the pits. Coming out of the pits in 17th behind his own teammate is Remy LeBeau. But it's a 1-2 out front for Mission Winnow Power Motorsport after taking a 1-3 in Paris in Formula E. And then dying a death in Bucharest. Thankfully, no one actually died there. Shen closing up to the back of Jonathan Sims. And at 41% tire wear for these softs, I think that early stop for those who have just come into the pits, that might work out quite well. No one started this race on the hard tires, so we can't tell how well Vita Alves is going to do, but considering the history of those tires from Firestone, expect him to come into the pits quite late into this race after finding that he's had no pace rather. Ryan Burton, the sole Apex GP driver on the back of Matthew Hart, he's just been given a 5-second time penalty. Into the pits comes Hernandez, Sanchez, Bogdasarov, and Hart, as well as your boy. Good pit exit there from Daf Sanchez. His team just about timing that to perfection. He's going to come out of the pits, and I think definitely going to be behind Remy LeBeau, who's now up into 9th after a storming, absolutely brilliant outlap. Now the question is, how long will these softs actually last? I think probably 6 laps before you get into that risk of, tires going pop like we saw in Spa. Hopefully a lot of the teams avoid the error that cost Nicolas Palomino the win in Spa-Francorchamps and effectively gifted Daf Sanchez the victory there. And honestly, I still feel quite bad for the guy. I mean, his Formula E performances still haven't really taken off, and his main hope of victory so far this season taken away by something that wasn't even his fault. Here comes Remy LeBeau, Palomino's own teammate in Formula E, side by side up the hill. And this is called tire advantage. Up into 6th, and he's probably going to take 5th here as well, past his son's teammate in Ryan Burton and Casper LeBeau teammates in the Ace Championship. Into the pits comes Guillermo Perez, the top 4 all into the pits. So Remy LeBeau now leads on lap 6 of 13, but will certainly have to make at least one more stop in this race compared to most of the drivers who have come into the pits already, and they will likely not have to make another stop. Palomino at 15%. I think he should be able to make it to the end of this lap. Tires haven't been this man's friend for quite a vast majority of his career. Statistically, one of the best, if not the single best rookie this side of the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, getting his first ERL Series Championship in IndyCar Season 4, his debut season. While that was only a 1-win season, meaning that if you are comparing all rookie campaigns in terms of their wins, I believe it's either Oscar Falstad or Sebastian Ocampo who is statistically the best rookie in the ERL's history. Palomino is the only one of those guys with the championship, as here comes Charles Hernandez side by side and past the Mante driver. He's at 4% tire wear. They've got to pull that car into the pits quickly. If they leave him out for another lap, he's not finishing this race. At least, not on the lead lap. So rounding the final turn at 2%. He comes into the pits, cutting it close from third. He drops down and makes his first, and if he goes on to the hards here, that'll probably be his only stop. Mediums go on. He can try and make it to the end of this race on the mediums, but I don't think that's what they are going to try and do. 5 seconds is the margin out front for Remy LeBeau, who's yet to score any points in this ChampCar World Series. He and Theo are the only drivers who have gone pointless all season long. Remy not really enjoying his time with either. Penske driver, after colliding with Vita Alves, who runs 7th in this race. He collided with him last time out, and both drivers went airborne. As you can see, some of the branding being removed still, as we're in Japan. Here comes Jonathan Sims down the hill, up into 7th position. Make that 6th, round the outside on Prix, as Bogdasarov runs into the back of the Dutchman in the 99 car. And it was a very unnecessary incident for him. Up into 7th again for Prix, who is really struggling on those softs, and I'd imagine, since they came in on the same lap, Remy LeBeau is struggling too, so he comes into the pits, and it's another set of softs. We knew this was going to be a 2-stop. I don't know about this. Dav Sanchez comes in and puts on the much more reasonable medium compound tire. And you know, if everyone in front of Remy LeBeau comes into the pits, he's going to need to hope and pray that 5-second time advantage he had to Charles Hernandez is going to be enough. Right behind him, you can see Lam Fong for Team Forsyth, Grace Hunter for our McLaren SP, and Dominic Venislau for AJ Foyt Racing. All behind the man who's poised to win his first ChampCar race after a struggling opening set of races in this ChampCar World Series. Here comes Sebastian Ocampo in a 1-2 for Mission Winnow Power Motorsport. Side by side, coming through Spoon Curve. And Sebastian Ocampo, we've said it so many times in Formula E, here's one of those things in ChampCar. He was leading. Hernandez reclaims the lead over the number 76. I was about to say victory, but we still got 5 laps to go. And Jonathan Sims and Ray Shen side by side going through the Kazuya Triangle. Sims, he loves being in Japan, loves racing in Japan, really wants a good finish here today. Into the pits comes O'Quee with 4 to the checkered flag. Going through one, Ocampo smartly not making a move. These guys staying single file. I think this is an overall fight for the lead, with many battles in between for the lead itself and for third. Going through the S's, into the lead for Sebastian Ocampo there. And this time, making the right move. You can see behind, they were side by side for third. Now they're side by side for the lead. Hernandez versus Ocampo. Charles Hernandez of Thailand, leads this race. Round the outside for Sebastian Ocampo. Can't get alongside going through the turn. Now here comes Ray Shen with the inside line. Can't make a move because he's being blocked by both Mission Winnow Powers. Up into second for Shen. Up into the lead for Sebastian Ocampo. And where is Jonathan Sims in all of this? He's not trying to get his car mucked up in all of it. He's staying 4th. Shen is now looking for a way to get past Sebastian. All this time, Remy LeBeau is only 8 seconds away from this fight. 9 seconds away. Can Shen try and get it round the outside? On board with him. Almost contact with the back of that Power Motorsport car. Luckily, bobs and weaves out of the way. And I think they're coming in. They are into the pits with Jonathan Sims as well. Remy LeBeau's moved up into 5th. He will be 2nd with 3 to go. Charles Hernandez leads as Theo gets a 5-second time penalty. Someone's gone off. That's Nicholas Palomino with front wing damage. There were yellow flags. In comes car number 93. If they put him onto soft tires, I think he can still salvage at least 1 point from all of this. And Remy LeBeau's nearest rival is Dav Sanchez. Do you want to know how clear he is from the number 72? Roughly 8 to 9 seconds in front. Even if he does encounter tire issues with 5-lap-old soft tires, he can still make it to the end. Because the likelihood is, if he does get a puncture on that final lap, it will be coming out of the Casio triangle. And even so, that is a manageable place to have a puncture. But you can see, graining on those fronts already. I don't think he can afford to make this a 3-stop race. Hernandez, Bogdasarov, Perez, and Burton, they can make it to the end, I'm sure. Francis Austin's done 6 laps with his medium compound tires. That is incredible. Coming through the Casio triangle, and he's never been closer to the back of this 52 than today. Remy LeBeau on the back, and Hernandez stays out for his 6th tour here in Motegi. Into the lead goes Remy LeBeau, and the Power Motorsport man did not really pose a challenge. 6% for Francis Austin. He's got a pit. In comes Lam Fong and Grace Hunter, as well as Verstio and Guillermo Perez. What about Francis Austin? He's got to be coming in, and he does at 4% tire wear. Oh my goodness, that was close. Bogdasarov runs in 3rd for AJ Foyt. He's got the championship leader in Daf Sanchez right behind, and Sebastian Ocampo following in tow. And so they make their way out of the hairpin. And look at that from Ocampo. He looks for the opportunity to get up into the podium paying positions, and he takes it to P3 for Sebastian Ocampo, who is flying with those fresh medium tires. He's got the freshest tires in the top 5, with Ray Shen and Jonathan Sims with similarly old tires. I think Remy might begin to struggle with tires definitely on the final lap. 24% for Charles Hernandez, probably something similar for Daniel Bogdasarov, 26 for Bogdasarov, but I think he can make it to the end is the difference. Side by side for Shen and the title leader in Daf Sanchez, and no fight posed by the hyperdrive man. We're on to the penultimate lap here in Twin Ring Motegi. 35% for Remy LeBeau. I think that's good to the end of the race. Charles Hernandez, how's he doing? 21%. Think the tires are going to pose a bit of an issue for some of these guys, but I don't think it will change the outcome of this race too much, aside from fresher tires leading to passes, like we're about to see with Sebastian Ocampo. He's 6 seconds off the race lead. I think he might be able to close the gap. He goes to the inside of his teammate, becomes the outside for the hairpin, but he's in front. Sebastian Ocampo is 2nd in Japan and chases after the race lead. His teammate now holds up Ray Shen and Jonathan Sims, and I think Sims is going to be the one who will bite for the move. No, Shen does try and go for the move, holds onto it, almost runs into the back of him, but takes 3rd position regardless. That was a close move, close shave for the man of the 33. And look at Hernandez. He's using push to pass to get alongside and almost back in front. He's going to have to hold it alongside with the McLaren driver. That's not the McLaren anymore. 5-second time penalty for Hernandez as he drops down to 5th. We're on to the final lap. And that Andretti Green, number 33, under threat from Jonathan Sims. Yet to take a podium in ChampCar. Would love to do it here in Japan today. And he takes 3rd position. Great move from the Briton. That gap out in front is shrinking for Remy LeBeau. He's at 17% tire wear. The tires becoming an issue for your race leader. But I think he will just about make it. 4.4 seconds is the gap. He's gaining at a rate of about a second per sector. But I think Ocampo, the best he can do is close in to within a second before the end of this race, which is not enough to make the pass unless he's going to go side by side. Coming through Spoon Curve, he's 3 seconds behind. Guillermo Perez has just punched in the fastest opening sector of anybody. But for Remy LeBeau and everyone down at Meyershank, he's about to give them something to remember them by. He currently leads by 4 seconds. It was an unorthodox strategy. He's in the single-digit figures in terms of tire percentage, but he doesn't care. He will take the checkered flag first. Remy LeBeau wins Japan! Ocampo is second from Jonathan Sims, who will be chuffed with that result. Look at Homeland V up into 9th position. The title leader comes across the line in 5th. And for Vita Alves, it'll be 10th either way, but he takes it on the road as well. As the rest of the drivers now come across the line. Guillermo Perez versus Theo setting the fastest lap as here comes Austin. Here is your podium. Remy LeBeau, the Season 25 Formula E World Champion, takes victory here in Twin Ring Motegi from Sebastian Ocampo, 2-time Formula E champion, and Jonathan Sims, World Champion team owner. What a podium for all 3 teams involved. Maya Shank, Power Motorsport, and Manthe Racing. They've been waiting to have a result as good as this for a while. Have Maya Shank. As for the rest of your finishes, Ray Shen was 4th from Daf Sanchez and Matthew Hart. Then it's O'Quee and Hunlam V, the top 8 from Charles Hernandez and Vita Alves, the top 10. Outside of it, your boy finished in 11th from Grace Hunter and Nicholas Palomino. Then it's Dominic Vanislau, James Bonnet, Lam Fong, Daniel Baltasarov, and Guillermo Perez from Versio, Ryan Burton, and Francis Austin. And the only non-finisher was winner last time out in Detroit, Nunez Garcia. In the driver standings, Daf Sanchez reopens the championship lead to 18 points over Guillermo Perez and Daniel Baltasarov. A tie for 4th between Sebastian Ocampo and Nicholas Palomino has just formed from a tie for 6th between Hernandez and Garcia. O'Quee is 8th from Ray Shen and Remy LeBeau, who just with that race win alone has already punched his ticket into the top 10. Then it's Matthew Hart, Jonathan Sims, Grace Hunter, and Ryan Burton. From Vita Alves, your boy Hunlam V, James Bonnet, Lam Fong, Francis Austin, Dominic Vanislau, and Versio still the only non-scorer. In the constructors standings, heading into the 7th round of the championship in Austin, Texas, Hyperdrive Racing lead the way from Mission Winnow, Power Motorsport, and Chip Ganassi Racing. Manthe Racing is 4th from Apex GP and AJ Foyt Racing. Then it's Maya Shank, Team Forsyth, Andretti Green, and Aaron McLaren SP, with Team Penske being at the very bottom of the standings. We will see you guys next time then when the ERL ChampCar World Series returns.
Sparkplug Motorsports thanks you for watching this presentation of the Electric Racing League.